welcome to Asha Mahi Show, and this is Asha Mahi. And in my last video you have seen the basics and the types of Nyquist plot, and as I promised I'm here with a problem of Nyquist plot. This is a bit big video because your Nyquist plot was a bigger problem for solvation. It's very easy. It's not you don't see the minutes of the duration of the video, but it is very easy. Okay, so let's dig into the problem without any time waste. Okay, so the given problem, transfer function g of s is equal to k by s into s plus 2 into s plus 0. So now for the given transfer function, you see how many poles are there. Okay, so as I can see 3 s terms here, so I can definitely know that there are 3 poles here, right? So 1 s equal to 0, s is equal to minus 2, and s is equal to minus 10. So there are 3 poles, and to our luck there is 1 pole at the origin. So let us draw a diagram. This comes under type 1 as I have told. So draw your normal diagram. So if this is 0, there is a pole at the 0, there is a pole at minus 2 maybe here, and there is a pole at minus 10 maybe here. Okay, but our concern is whether there is a pole at the origin or not. So definitely now our Nyquist plot will not start from the origin. So definitely it will start from here, which is C1, where 0 to infinity, where is omega, where is 0 to infinity, and there is an arc which is C2. Okay, and that covers the entire right half RHS of the plane, and for here your radius tends to infinity because your arc is tending to infinity here. Okay, and from here your C3 should be exact the mirror image of C1. So this is C3 where it goes from minus infinity to 0, and to close the loop we have another section C4, okay, where it goes from minus infinity to plus infinity, or C4. Okay, and for C4 your radius tends to 0 because your C4 is very near to 0 and C2 is very far from 0. So how many sections we have? We have 4 sections. So C1, C2, C3, C4. So I'll tell you, wait, your C1 is a polar plot because your omega is varying from 0 to infinity. If you get C1, your C3 is an exact mirror image of C1. So your C3, C1 will go very easily, and your C2 is a bigger section where your radius tends to infinity, and your C4 is a smaller section where your radius tends to 0. Okay, so this is how you need to find the 4 sections. So let us go one by one now. So we have an equation to number of, like, we need to find how many encirclements are there. As I told you, to find the system is stable or not, we have to see how many encirclements are there around minus 1 plus j0. Encirclement is a round which is around this minus 1 plus j0. So how to find the encirclements? There is a formula, very popular formula, n is equal to p minus z. So n is equal to p is the number of poles. So number of poles are, how many poles we have? 3. How many zeros we have? We don't have any zeros here because zeros are taken as a numerator and poles taken as denominator. So 3 minus 0, so n is equal to 3. So roughly we will get like 3 encirclements. We will see whether it's real or not. Okay, so first of all let us take your transfer function, okay, by s into s plus 2 into s plus 10. Okay, now this you should keep it in the form of 1 plus st. Put in the form of standard form, right? 1 plus st, and you have to replace your s with j omega. Okay, so if we do that, what happens? Okay, bye. So you do along with me, okay, don't skip the video. So now to make in the form of 1 plus st, definitely I have to take 2 out of here and 10 out of here, right? So I'll take 2 out of here and 10 from the other side. J omega will be as it is, and this will be like j omega by 2 plus 1, because if you take 2 outside, this becomes 2, and you have to divide the entire equation with 2. Okay, so j omega 2 will be as it is, 2 by 2 is 1. If you take 10 outside, this becomes j omega by 10, and 10 by 10 is 1. Okay, so your k is as it is. So I'll just do like here, k is equal to definitely this 20 j omega, and j omega by 2 is 0.5 j omega plus 1, and this is 0.1 j omega plus 1. So this is the format of 1 plus st. Okay, so now we got a format in the form of 1 plus st. Okay, keep it aside for now. Now our first mapping. Mapping of section C1. Okay, as I told, we have 4 sections, right? So I am doing this one, mapping of section C1. I am doing C1 here. Okay, so C1, as I told, it is the omega is varying from 0 to infinity, so it is nothing but C1 is a polar plot. So that was the reason which I told you should know polar plot before while doing the problem for Nyquist plot. Don't go directly with Nyquist plot, because polar plot is a part of Nyquist plot. You should know what is polar plot before. So let us do a polar plot for C1. Okay, if you don't know polar plot also, you can learn from here. Anyway, I'll be doing now. Okay, so we will do a polar plot, okay, for g of j omega, as the omega varies from 0 to infinity, right? So now let us take our equation, what we got, g of j omega equation, that we got as, I have shifted the 20 above, because this is the equation which I got. So if I shift it to 20 above, 1 by 20 is 0.05. So I'm making it very easy. I don't want to make it complex with so many numbers. Okay, my denominator should be very easy actually for me to do. So this is the equation what we got when we kept in the form of 1 plus st, and we replace your s with j omega. Okay, now solve it. How to solve? You keep it this one as it is. 0.05 into just a normal multiply both these ones. Okay, anyway, if you don't know, like I'll tell you. For 0.5 into 0.1 plus 0.5 j omega into 1, this one, plus, now I'm going with 0.1 or 1 maybe, 0.1 j omega into 1 plus 1 into 1. Okay, I just made it very roughly. Okay, now if you solve this, this comes, I'm doing it step by step so that some will not feel much difficulty in doing. Okay, this is j omega square, and this is 0.6 j omega, and this plus 1. We all know your j omega square, j square is minus 1. So let substitute that one here. I'm rearranging this entire term. Okay, I'll keep 1 here, minus 0.05 omega square, because your j square is minus 1, so minus has come here, and this will be as it is. Okay, now what is the next thing is, you need to separate your real and imaginary part. Your imaginary part will have j term. Okay, so multiply these all, then you take it out. So what happens here, if I multiply your j omega with the entire thing, so, and I take it out, this comes your, and your j omega will come, and this is your minus 0.05 omega square. Just a normal multiplication. Okay, and here we got, this was the real part. Okay, and you say j is real part, because j square, right? So j square, so this becomes j square is minus 1. So let me do it much more further. Only this makes time, not the problem. Some people say that if you this much problem, it is so much of time taking. It's not. So now I got a real axis, because j square is minus 1, so minus has come here and j is gone out, and this is your imaginary axis. Now I have separated both of them. Okay, now we'll go for the next one. Now to find your real axis, because your polar plot should touch the real axis at one or the other point, right? So to find the real axis or real part, you need to make your imaginary axis to 0 or imaginary part to 0. So here in this one, what is your imaginary part? That is 1 minus 0.5 omega square is your real part. Okay, omega into. So this entire part is real part, imaginary part, right? So so imaginary part from here, I'll keep this one here and I'll write. Okay, so you have to remove this j and you need to take only this term as your imaginary axis, imaginary part. Okay, so omega into 1 minus 0.05 omega square is equal to 0. Okay, and now just find out what is omega. Okay, so directly I'll do it. Do along with me so that you will get to know. So 1 comes here, it becomes 1 by 0.05, because 1 comes here, it becomes minus 1, minus minus will go away, so this is 20. So now we omega square. So omega square is 20, your omega equal to root over 20. So omega equal to 4.472 radian per second. Your units are also important. So this was what I have to say, it is an your omega. It is not on the real axis. Okay, now you substitute this omega in your real part. It substitute is not subtract. Okay, in your real part. So what is the real part here? So I'll write like this. So from the equation, your real part is this one. Okay, so that is 0.05 k by minus 0.6 omega square. Okay, now put your omega there. So this becomes 0.05 k by minus 0.6, and if I substitute 4.472 whole square, what I'll get? So I'll keep the minus top by 11.999, which is minus 0.00417 k. Okay, so this is a negative real axis, so definitely in your real axis somewhere you get your minus 0.00417 k. So here your polar plot crosses at this point. Okay, so your plot crosses negative real axis. Okay, now we got one part. Now we need to find what is the magnitude and what is the phase. Okay, now the next part is find the magnitude and phase. So you have to find your magnitude, which is modulus of j of j omega, and your phase, which is j of j omega. Okay, so magnitude and phase was starting from the Bode plot itself. Okay, so let's do quickly. So to find out magnitude, first we need to find out the formula, right? So magnitude j of j omega is equal to this is your numerator will be as it is. Okay, and magnitude is like a real parts plus imaginary part whole square, or real part square plus imaginary part square. So here when you get your real part square is, I'll take the sum again. Okay, so you clearly understand it, a real problem. So here is your imaginary part, here is your real part for this one. Okay, so your real part square plus imaginary part square will come like root over. For this one it is 1 square real part, and your imaginary is 0.05 square. Okay, this one is into, for the second one it is 1 square plus 0.01 whole square. So again root over 1 square plus 0.1 whole square, and definitely it should be omega square, and here also we have omega square, because we have omega square. We only have to take out j out of here. Don't take out omega. Okay. Omega square. If we solve it, so this will be like root over 1 plus 0.05, 0.25 omega square. This is the first part. And for the second part is root over 1 plus 0.01 omega square. Okay, so this is the equation for magnitude plot. Now find out phase plot, which is angle of j omega. As we know, the formula what we get is tan inverse b by a, and for all denominator we get minus tan inverse. All we get negative for denominators. Okay, for numerator we get positive. So from the equation what we get here, I'll make this one easier for you. Okay, from this equation our rest terms are written only in the denominator part. Okay, so go with that. So angle of j omega is equal to, first j omega we have, so that becomes minus 90 degrees. Okay, and if we have like j square, it becomes minus 180. Okay, it's simple j, so it omega we have minus 90, and for this it's minus tan inverse b by a. What is b by a? It is the form of a plus jb. Okay, so a is 1, okay, and your b is 0.5 omega. Okay, you only take out j, don't eliminate omega. It's really dangerous. So this becomes minus tan inverse 0.5 omega by 1. For this term, again a plus jb formula. So this is minus tan inverse 0.1 omega by 1. Okay, we'll make it much more simplified. So this is minus tan inverse 0.5 omega minus tan inverse 0.1 omega. I have taken out the denominator part. So g of j omega. Wow. Okay, so we got magnitude and we got the phase. Okay, now our polar plot formula, simple form. I use another pen to avoid the confusion. Okay, you need to put omega equal to 0 and infinity in both your magnitude and your phase. Okay, so let omega equal to 0, because your polar plot varies from, see, 0 to infinity, right? From 0 to infinity. So we'll keep omega 0 and omega infinity, and we will see what is the plot. So if we get omega 0, your magnitude, what would be your magnitude if you replace your omega with 0? Your magnitude will be infinity, because if it is 0, 0.5k by 0 is infinity. Okay, and your angle, what is your angle will be? Okay, so angle will be like, if you keep omega here, that becomes infinity. Okay, 0, tan inverse 0 is so this becomes your infinity. So tan inverse infinity is pi by 2. So sorry, if you keep omega here, this becomes 0 and this becomes 0. So you will be left with only minus 90. My mistake. I get confused. Okay, doing a very big problem under video. So if we put infinity here, definitely this will be, if we infinity here, this will be 0 in magnitude. And your phase will be, as I told before, your tan 0.5 infinity is infinity, and your tan is infinity is pi by 2. So this minus 90, this minus again pi by 2, and this pi by 2. So total is minus 270. Okay, so these are the real important things. So you have definitely know that where your infinity, if you place your omega as infinity, omega as 0, what will happen. Okay, so now basing on these values, we will draw a diagram. Okay, so now I am drawing for C1. I am drawing a mapping for C1. So I'll go in a clockwise. So this becomes minus 90, minus 180, minus 270, this is 0, this is minus infinity, infinity, this is minus infinity, infinity. I am making it a bit faster. Okay, so from here, If your omega equal to 0, okay, your magnitude is infinity. Okay, and your angle is minus 10, so definitely here it will be there. Okay, so your plot starts from here. Okay, and for your omega infinity, it becomes 0. So here is your omega equal to infinity and 0, and here it your omega equal to infinity. Okay, this I have clearly told in my previous video also. Okay, so your plot starts at minus 90, okay, and reaches your 0. It plot starts as infinity. Your plot starts as infinity and minus 90 degrees. Okay, it reaches 0 at minus 270 degrees. Okay, so infinity minus 90, so it starts in minus infinity, and your the point where it cuts the real axis minus 0.0417 k, which you already found. So it starts at infinity with minus 90 degrees. So I am starting here. I'll change the pen. Okay, and it crosses the point 0.0417 k, which is minus, and it has to reach minus 270 degrees and comes to origin. Okay, so this was my C1 section. This is how it goes on. Okay, so this is C1. Now we have to do for C2, C3, C4. So now we'll do the second part, which is a mapping of section C2. Okay, as we already seen, so this is your C2, okay, and C2 your R tends to infinity, okay, and your omega varies from 90, which is pi by 2, to minus pi by 2. Okay, so see, your omega is varying from pi by 2, it is coming to minus pi by 2 with a radius of infinity. Okay, your C2 is a very big arc. Okay, so here your R is tending to infinity, and your theta, okay, so this is the angle theta is varying from pi by 2 to minus pi by 2, so that is plus 90 to minus 90 degrees. Okay, so now I'll tell you how we will get it. Okay, so see here, the section C2 is mapped by letting S equal to limit R tends to infinity R e power j theta, as I told in the basics of Nyquist plot. Okay, so you're limiting your R tends to infinity, okay, and then we take an exponential, and j is imaginary and theta is the angle. Okay, and we have to vary your theta from pi by 2 to minus pi by 2, and you have to make or approximating your g of s term 1 plus st, because we have brought the given transfer function before, okay, in the form of 1 plus st. Then in this form you need to consider only st part. Okay, so see, we have brought this into 1 plus st. This is the first page actually what I have done. So we have brought the 1 plus st format, right? You need to consider only st format here. For C2 mapping you have to consider only S2 format. Okay, so from this equation what I got, we have made g of j omega, right? This one. Okay, all part like in like based on the first equation, because that's the reason you don't do any mistake while doing in the first equation itself. So this is the one. Okay, now this is the form of 1 plus st. As they have asked to take only st term, I'll take only st term. Okay, now I'll put for our easiness, I'll make s to j omega. J omega we have done, right? Now I'll bring back from j omega to s here. Okay, because to show you 1 plus st, so we have taken s here. So j omega will become s, okay, and this becomes 0.5 s plus 1, and this 0.1 s plus 1. Okay, so this is the form of 1 plus st. Now you need to consider only, as they asked, only st format. This is st. You need to consider only this, and you need to do the problem. Okay, now it's very easy. Only thing we need to like know the method how to do it. Okay, now if you consider only ST, so this becomes 0.5s. I have taken only ST, and from here I have taken only ST here. Okay, so when we solve this, so if you do it now 0.05, this becomes S cube. So this becomes K by S cube. Okay, now I have taken S because I have to now apply this one. Okay, shall I do it another page, because this won't okay, let me do here only. I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay, so let S equal to limit R tends to infinity R e power j theta. This is what. Okay, now you need to keep that one. So now g of s at s equal to limit R tends to infinity R e power j theta, that is equal to K by, I am keeping S. Okay, I am applying this limit now. Okay, R e power j theta cube. Okay, S in the part of this one. So now if we solve this one, so K into, I will be taking out e j theta minus, it becomes, I will take it out, so it becomes like this. Okay, and now what is left here? Limit R tends to infinity. Okay, this becomes R cube. Okay, now you have to place infinity in place of R. So what will happen here? K equal to minus j theta 1 by infinity cube. Okay, so that becomes 0 into e power minus j 3 theta. Okay, so simply we can say your magnitude of R is equal to 0, because this 0 into anything is 0, right? But we got the exponential e minus j 3 theta. Okay, so from here we got a magnitude R equal to 0. Now we have to do this one still. It's not over. We have to place this theta pi by 2 and minus pi by 2, and we should know what are the limits or what are the angles where the encirclement will happen. Okay, so by keeping it here, I am doing. Okay, so now when theta is equal to pi by 2, you substitute here. Okay, what happens here? So E equal to minus j 3 pi by 2. Okay, very good. And here when theta is equal to minus pi by 2, because your plot C2 will be varying from pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. So this becomes e power plus j 3 pi by 2. Okay, I just substituted this theta, okay, with pi by 2 and minus pi by 2, right? Okay, now your C2 arc maps from, this one is minus 3 pi by 2 to plus 3 pi by 2. Your minus 3 pi by 2 is what? Your minus 270 degrees. Your plus 3 pi by 2 is 270 degrees. Now we already got in the previous thing that, if you remember, n equal to p minus z, we got encirclements as 3. Okay, so minus 270, I'll tell you. You like 270 plus 270, you make it. Okay, don't take this minus here. So 270 is 270 becomes 540. And your 540 is nothing but 180 degrees into 3. So your n equal to 3 is right, because your circle will go 3 times with 180 degrees angle. Okay, so your C2 should rotate for 3 times. Okay, and your magnitude of R is 0. Okay, from the previous thing what we got, your magnitude of R is 0. Now I'll show you, wait. I'll draw here. This for only C2, because I'm drawing C1, C2, C3, C4 differently, and I'll combine all together at the last. So this 0 minus 90, I'm coming in the clockwise, this becomes minus 180 and this becomes minus 270. Okay, as we got like minus 270, okay, minus 270 is this one, the ulta. So your plot should come directly, don't draw directly minus 270, because you have to know how many encirclements should be there. Okay, so your encirclements are 3, because 180 degrees into 3. So how I will be drawing is, okay, your r tends to infinity and it should be around the origin itself. So it's starting at minus 270. So I'll start at minus 270 and very near to 0. Okay, I'll make first encirclement with 180 degrees. This is the first one. Okay, and from here I'll make another encirclement. This is number 2. And from here I'll make it another encirclement, which is 3. So how many encirclements we got? 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so this is 180, this is another 180, this is another 180, and see, your plot started at minus 270, it encircled and came at 270. So this is proved and this is proved. Okay, so this is, and your r tends to 0, as we got from the magnitude part what we have done. Your r tends to 0. Okay, so this is what the bit tricky part, what people really feel it. Okay, when I see my students. Okay, and it shouldn't touch the origin. Make sure that shouldn't touch it. It should be very near to the origin, and it shouldn't touch the origin because there's an exponential part here. We have an exponential part here. Okay, now C3 is left. And this is very simple. As I told you, I'll keep this one before. Okay, your C1 and C3. Okay, your C1 and C3 are the polar plots because your C1 is going from 0 to infinity and your C3 is going from minus infinity to 0. So this is also a polar plot, and we can directly draw, because if we know what is C1, we can directly draw C3 because C3 is the mirror image of C1. Okay, I'll show. So this was the C1 part what we got. Your C3 will be a mirror image of this. Okay, let me keep it here and let me draw. Okay, this is very simple. You have to do like this. You shouldn't do a direct thing. Okay, never do it. And this minus 180 and this minus 270, this is infinity and this is 0. Okay, and my crossing point is minus 0.00417k, which I got a crossing point. So my C1 is like this, right? Okay, your C3 will be a mirror image of that. So if C1 is here, your C3 will be exactly mirror image of this. See, these two are the mirror images, your C1 and C3. So that is the reason, if you really correctly draw C1, if you correctly do the polar plot for C1, your C3 is just a mirror image. No need to do the entire problem for C3 polar plot again. Okay, now the left one is C4. Our fourth section, the last section, which is mapping of section C4. Okay, see here C4. C1 is drawn, C2 is drawn, C3 is drawn, only left is C4, only this thing. So your C4, from our diagram, your r tends to 0. Okay, and your theta is going from minus pi by 2. Okay, for your angle is going from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, your theta is ranging from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, so now your limit will also go. So s equal to, your limit r tends to 0 and r e power j theta is the formula what we get. Okay, and now we have to keep theta minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, so here we have taken for C2, we have considered ST part, right? In 1 plus ST we have considered ST. So for C4 you need to consider only 1. Okay, so from our transfer function what we have solved, is s into 1 plus 0.5 s and 1 plus 0.1 s. I'll take only 1. I'll remove that. I'll eliminate st. Okay, so this is 0.05k by s into 1 obviously. I'll take the 1 plus st. If we have 2 plus 0.1 s, you have to take 2. You don't take only 1 into 1. Okay, so this becomes 0.05k by s. Okay, so now you have to apply the limiting formula. So your g of s at s equal to limit r tends to 0, r e power j theta becomes 0.05k by, in place of s I have wrote the limit part. Okay, so this becomes, I'll keep this aside for a while, 0.05 k by 0 into e power j theta, because I replace your r with 0, so left is only e power minus, so 0.05 k by 0 it becomes infinity. Okay, and this becomes e power minus j theta. When j comes from denominator to numerator, becomes minus j theta. Okay, now it clearly gives your magnitude of r is infinity. In previous thing we got our magnitude as 0, here magnitude as infinity. Okay, now I have to place theta minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. Okay, so when your theta is minus pi by 2, what was the answer? Infinity into e power minus j pi by 2. Okay, so that is your 90 degrees plus 90. When your theta is pi by 2, infinity into e power j by become minus pi by 2, and this becomes your 90 degrees. Okay, so this plus both is plus 90 and this is minus 90. Now as we have done previously, you just add these two, which becomes 180. So there is only one encirclement here. Okay, and this is like a closing the loop. Okay, so 180. So now let us draw C4. I'll draw here itself. Your C4 is ranging from plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. So if I draw only C4, so this 0, this minus 90, this minus 180, this minus 270. So this minus pi by 2, this becomes pi by 2. So it is coming like your C4 will be ranging from pi by 2 to minus pi by 2 with only one encirclement with 180 degrees angle. Okay, now add all C1, C2, C3, C4 and let us see. Okay, now I have got all together. I'll keep this one aside and I will draw. Okay, see clearly. I'll first of all, I'm making it a bit smaller because I'm seeing here. So this is your 0. Okay, infinity, and your crossing, you mark your crossing point before only. Okay, to avoid the misconception, your minus 0.00417 k, right? This is your crossing point. Okay, so now I'll use different pens for easy understanding. Okay, I'll draw C1 now. C1 is ranging from minus 90, it is coming to 0. The same C1 I'll draw here. It comes to 0 again. So this is C1. Now take this paper out. Now I have to draw C2. See, your C2 is starting with 3 encirclements we got here. See your C2. Okay, I'll make it like this for your understanding. Your C2. So from the point where my C1 has stopped, okay, you have to see the arrows also. Okay, this is minus 270. Okay, this is minus 180. C2 start, your C2 will go 3 times here. 1, 2, 3. This is moving here with radius tending to 0, magnitude is tending to 0. So this is C3. Okay, now this is C2, right? C2 is the arc what we got. Now go for C3. So what is C3? It's just a mirror image. I'll take this paper out and I'll show you what is C3. See C3, it's just a mirror image of C1 and it should cut. Okay, this is your C3. Okay, now if we take out C3 out, your C4 is remaining. It starts with pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. So this is how you need to draw this one. Okay, you need to draw this on a graph paper. Okay, I'll show you. Take your graph paper, divide this into exactly 4 quadrants as we have done in the polar plot. Exactly the same thing what we have to do here. Okay, and make your markings. It is origin, this is infinity and 0 degrees, this is minus 90, minus 180 and plus 180, this minus 90 and plus 270, and this is minus 270 and plus 90. Okay, and this was your real part and this is your imaginary part. Okay, once these are done, okay, let us plot because if we really make it this as minus 1, this becomes your real axis minus 0.04% will come here. Okay, and your plot will be very small. It's very difficult to show actually. So I'm taking a very random point. Okay, just for this purpose. This I'll take as random point on real axis minus 0.00417k for marking C1 and C3. Okay, now take a pen and just draw it very gently. Okay, your C1 is starting from here. It crosses the marking, goes away and comes down. Okay, very near to 0. And from here your C2 will start with 180 degrees is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Okay, so this is your C1, this is your C2, and from here C3 is the mirror image of C1. So this will just reach here, comes up, it comes down like this. Your C3 is traveling here and your C4 will be the last one, which is from plus 90 to minus 90. So, and it covers the entire right half plane like this. C4. So for C4 your radius magnitude is 0 and for C2 your magnitude is infinity. So this completes the Nyquist plot like this. Okay, and now you need to tell whether system is stable or not. Okay, for that we have to find what is value of k. Okay, I'll tell you now. I'll keep this graph aside. Right, now see this one. I'm just keeping it here itself. Okay, so the range of k and the stability analysis we need to find. The system is stable when the crossing point of real axis is lying inside the unit circle. So it should be inside the unit circle 1. Okay, so we know plot crosses real axis at minus 0.00417k as we have already told here. So this is the part where your polar plot crosses. Okay, and your plot crosses. The limiting value of k is given with, okay, minus 0.05k equal minus 1. Okay, and from here if you find out k, it is k equal to 1 by 0.00417, which is approximately 240. Okay, so your range will be from 0 less than 240 and less than 1. Okay, so there may be a doubt arises that what if it is above 240 and less than 240? Exactly the value of k, whether it is less or more. Okay, this can be an assumption. Now we have to really find whether your k is less than 240, then your system is stable, or your k is greater than 240. We need to find out these two cases. Okay. To finding the range of k, when your k is less than 240, you take 239 value. Okay, so we get a value as minus 0.99, which is in the unit circle. Okay, so the system is stable when your k value is in the unit circle. So this when your range is in the unit circle. So minus 0.99 is the unit circle. So for this value we can say system is stable. Okay, for where else if we keep k is greater than 240, if I take 241, this is crossing this unit circle 1, so it becomes minus 1.00497. Okay, so from this we can say that when the range of k is less than 240 only, your plot is stable, your plot is under the unit circle.